Mr. Karim Johnson? What's your stance on reparations in general?
I don't believe they could give us reparations. I really don't. I believe as B1, as people that strive for liberation, the only reparations they could give us is blood.
I had to do my due diligence. You understand what I'm saying? And bring on some backup. Somebody who might have just a little bit experience out here in these streets. I'm talking about the great Karim Johnson. It's going down here at the Black People's Podcast. I see those numbers climbing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you all the great Karim Johnson. Yeah, I got to give him a round of applause. You feel me? I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of nervous here. I haven't had Karim Johnson on in a while, and I ain't gonna lie. Every time he come, you know what I'm saying, on these platforms, he burn shit up. You feel me? So I got to be prepared, and I have to be on my P's and Q's, man. If you tuned in right now, you're watching the Black People's Podcast, make sure you hit like, make sure you share, and make sure you hit subscribe, okay? Now, the only way that I know how to introduce or describe the gentleman that I have on with me, Karim Johnson, is nothing more or nothing less than an activist, okay? Karim Johnson, how you doing today?
Peace and power. I'm well. Struggling, I'm well. I'm in the struggle.
Okay. Can you tell the people where you're from, Mr. Karim?
I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. Project, a NYCHA housing project named Penn Workman on the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue and Workman Ave.
I consider you an activist, okay? But can you put the people on what your particularly your particular specialty is, sir?
Seeking liberation and justice for our people. I'm an advocate for our people, and I believe in separation. I believe in unity of everybody that's melanated. Be one first. I believe in not standing under separate flags, but uniting under one banner, and our banner is melanin. You understand? I have a lot of different practices. I'm an anger management specialist. I deal with fathers who have court troubles with family court. They have ACS issues, the Administration for Children's Services. They also may have batterers accountability or domestic violence issues, so I counsel them. I also work with street organizations or gangs to get them to stop shooting up our communities and stop killing each other.
It's like, Karim, whenever you speak, you understand what I'm saying? Whenever you get on these platforms and you speak, you tend to do crazy numbers. Can you tell us why you think that is, sir?
Well, because I get most of my energy and most of my understanding from the people. See, I'm actually working on the ground. I'm actually working in the community. I'm actually servicing people who need it the most. So I get my energy off of them, and I'm well schooled. You know, I didn't only read certain books. I knew the authors. I was taught by the authors. When the authors speak, I sat at their heels. I went to everything that I could go to that had Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Leonard Jeffries. You see what I'm saying? So I was always in the mix of that, and I was raised under the banner of the nation of gods and earths, the 5% nation, right? Through my father, who was also my enlightener. And again, I was raised in this. So it's a different feel for me. This is something that I've been tasked to do. So when I do it, I give it my all because I know no other way. You understand? I also served a decade behind the wall. So I understand what it means to have integrity and to speak and to make sure my word is my bond. So, I mean, I guess that's what people are feeling. I couldn't explain it to you no other way, but I'm no chaser, no bullshit. I see an issue, I analyze it, I see how we can resolve it, and we get to work. It's not about, having an ego and thinking that I know everything. I'm best suited because not only am I a teacher, but I'm a student. I learn from everybody, and I absorb that energy. So it's not that, I'm better than the people who I'm servicing. No, I understand their position, and I also understand that I could be in that position as well.
Now, you mentioned doing the time behind the walls, and this is going to set the stage for where we're going, because we're going to be going straight into reparations here shortly. But I also want to make it clear to the people that you have also served your country as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I don't think people give you enough give you your respect. You understand what I'm saying? Or enough credence as far as your service towards our country. So I feel like the things that you have to say pertaining to our country, they carry a lot more weight. Could you educate us a little bit about your specific background in the military?
Well, I graduated high school early. I got skipped in middle school from the 7th to ninth grade. So by the time I graduated high school, I was 16 and a half, turning 17.
Mm-hmm.
I took a year of college where I was a nursing student, following behind my mother, who was a nurse before she passed. She was a nurse for 25 years. But I also was boxing, Golden Gloves, and I had a little job at UPS, and it was getting strenuous. You know what I'm saying? My moms didn't really want me boxing. UPS was kind of crazy for a 17, 18-year-old. My boxing coach, who was a supervisor, got me in it, and I needed something to do.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of my people, we was in the streets as well, and as rumor had it, in the 80s, you go to the army, you go to any type of military service, you can get guns legally. So this is what I thought. We went through, signed up on a buddy system, but the two guys that I went to the station with, one was already on probation and one didn't have his GED. So I was the only one that was eligible to go.
Okay.
So in 1988, I signed up 2 years, for the U.S. Army. My MOS was 91 Alpha, which means I was a combat medic.
Wow. Okay.
I was attached to an infantry unit in Germany where I boxed as well.
Okay.
So I was a medic. Out there with the grunts, you know what I'm saying, playing war games and maneuvers all through Germany. Gave them my 2 years, and that was it.
Okay.
Once I came home, I was back in the nursing school. But at that time, I really got into the world of hip hop, and that's when I started running around with a lot of these individuals who went on to become multi-platinum selling artists. So that was my tour in the service. I learned a lot. I appreciated the knowledge of what it meant to be a black man in another country. So I seen a lot of different truths and experiences. So that's what I build on when I build on that.
Oh, you remember Friday when Big Worm pulled up on on Smokey asking for his money? You got my money, Smokey? Right?
Yeah.
So that's what type of time we on tonight, Karim Johnson. I'm asking Joe, do you have my reparations, homie? Because we put you in office. Make no mistake, the black community, we saved America. We put Joe in office. We put Kamala in office. You had an opinion on these reparations that was hard. It was a hard pill for me to swallow. So I wanted to extend that conversation with you. Okay, so I'm gonna get straight into it. What is your stance, right, on reparations? Is this something that you are for, Mr. Karim Johnson? What's your stance on reparations in general?
I don't believe they could give us reparations. I really don't. I believe as as people that's striving for liberation, the only reparations they could give us is blood. To bleed out. There's no value that they could put. There's no dollar value that they could put on what was stolen from us. The only reparations they could give us is blood. The only reparations they could give us is blood. They got to bleed out. There's no dollar value that they could put on what was stolen from us. You understand? We're talking about centuries. We're not talking about 10, 20 years, maybe 100 years. We're talking about a 500-year stretch,
right,
where we know that they abused the diaspora, that they came through and stole a lot of the wealth, a lot of the natural resources, and the people of that country, of that part of the planet. You dig what I'm saying? And once, however, anybody wants to look at history, whether we were already there, because we know that we was here before Columbus. We was already here doing trading and things of that nature. You understand? But at some point, and if you want to put it from 1665 or whatever, they enacted a movement and a thought of manifest destiny and white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
So they felt that they could enslave these scientists, these doctors, these cultural people of the universe, right? And brutalize them for hundreds and hundreds of years, burning people, right?
Yes.
We're going to talk slavery, post-slavery through Reconstruction and Jim Crow, all the way up to present day. So how do you put a dollar value on that? You can't. We are priceless from the gate, from the inception of the stars. We are priceless. So you can't put a dollar value, a dollar that's really worthless in the eyes of the universe. You understand? In the eyes of the true and mighty gods, in the eyes of the sun, moon, and stars. You can't put a value of paper money on that. So you can only do what you did to us.
Mm-hmm.
Bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have reparations in blood. Anything else is settlement. Anything else is just you still depending on these people to make right what was wrong, and it can't be done. So I don't want nothing from them. I don't need nothing from them. I do my work. I service the people. I don't acknowledge them at all.
Okay.
So for me, it's a conversation that moves in cycles, right? People want that because they think they're going to be comfortable if they get a certain amount of money.
Okay.
If you're still up under the same institutions, if you're still up under the same governance, that money's going to go.
So it sounds like from it sounds like from what I'm hearing, you are more for separation versus reparation. Correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're saying, nah, my G, you can't. Yeah, I know you owe me. You feel me? It sounds good, but there's nothing that you can give me back that's going to fix or patch up what you've done to us. So the best and the only viable thing for me to do is to separate. Could you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. That's the only thing we can do. That's the only thing that would satisfy me.
And
take something sharp to your throat or your wrist and bleed out. I can govern myself. We can educate ourselves. We were the first educators. So if I'm going to truly believe in that, then I have to manifest that. And the only way I can manifest that is if you're not in my way. If I have to do it on my own, if I'm responsible for myself. Other than that, I'm just playing games. You understand? We cannot coexist. You already proven that. So I don't need your money. I don't. What do I need it for? Especially when your money has no stability. The dollar goes up, the dollar goes down, right?
Right.
It's all based on how they pimp the system and whether other nations agree to the dollar amount that they set. Right now we're going into capitalism and all that, and I really have, not a long time tonight to
right.
the dynamics of that. You did?
Right.
But again, this is what I'm about. I don't know what anybody else is about. But I don't look to them for anything. So therefore, I don't want your shit. Keep it. I'm here now. I acknowledge it.
Right.
I'm living under it, but
right.
I don't rely on that. And our people have to stop relying on that.
Okay, so no, I definitely hear you. I definitely understand where you're going with it. So I'll go straight for the jugular then. I'll go straight for the jugular because Karim, you got these black foundations, these black organizations. I got one of them on the screen right now. ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, right? So this is a group that group of people or organization who isn't just talking. They're actually trying to make moves and make maneuvers to identify us as a race, as a nation, and to I guess put forth legislation to try to get reparations. Now I know you know a little bit about the ADOS. You're a very very knowledgeable brother. So considering your thought about reparations, you know what I'm saying, and separation, what is your view on organizations like ADOS, American Descendants of Slave?
Listen, they are melanated people. If that's the strategy and tactic that they feel is best suited for them, so be it. Am I going to fight against them? No, but that's not where my energy is. And you know, I look at the end result. I know these people well. I lived in the most hellish conditions and dealt with the most demonic of their kind. I know they're not giving these people shit. They're not giving you nothing because you have no force. When you coming from a point, I don't care what you call yourself, what do they call you? And if you don't have the power to rename yourself, which is what these organizations are making an attempt to do, right? Rename ourselves. You call us Negro, you call us colored, you even call us niggers, but we're going to rename ourselves. We're going to call ourselves kings. We're going to call ourselves melanated. We're going to call ourselves all these different titles. But what does your enemy call you, and what does he acknowledge you as, and what force does he have behind him to make sure that you live out to what he or she says you are? If you have no force to back it up, you just hum a stunt. If you have no organizational pull of force where your demands are taken seriously, right? Your demands are taken seriously because you are seen as a threat to power, then you playing games. These people will tolerate you.
Right.
They will pacify you with trinkets, but they will never acknowledge you because you're not coming from a position of strength and power.
Salute, you tuned in to the Black People's Podcast with Breadman. We got special guest Karim Johnson on here, and we've been talking about reparations. And he has a very, very strong opinion, what I call it's a hard pill to swallow. And that's why I brought him on here to talk to the people. MAGA Nation, right? Donald Trump's followers, what I could deem to be a terrorist group. I got to be careful how I talk. You know how they do on YouTube. But we just watched them. We just watched them basically try to pull off an insurrection, right? They ran off in the Capitol, you understand what I'm saying? And basically tried to take over, and this was about things that they wanted. These were about grievances. These were about things that they wanted, and look how they did it. You understand what I'm saying? So my question to you is, if I voted for Joe Biden, my people, we put Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in office, right? What do you think is going to happen to me and my people if we go down to the same spot they was at just a few weeks ago? If we go down to the same spot with a list of demands, what do you think is going to happen to us if we roll up in there like that? If we go down and we demand reparations from the people who we just voted in. They talk all that noise about, they talking about the differences of how people was treated, all this racism, how the MAGA supporters was treated, and how Black Lives Matter. So let's just say, y'all in the house now. What do you think is gonna happen if we go down there, you feel me? Not asking, but demanding reparations. Let's go.
The same thing is gonna happen. That was a show, right? What did they really try to take over? The only thing they tried to take over was the symbolism of what government looked like. You didn't see them attacking any dams. You didn't see them trying to take over any electric companies. You didn't see them trying to take over the military. You didn't see them do any of that. That's symbolism. You're going in there to destroy and disrupt the symbols of what this is. It's just like going somewhere and killing a bald eagle. You're not killing America. That's just a symbol. So they really wasn't trying to do nothing but make noise. They wasn't taking over the banking system. They had no control over anything. You understand?
Right.
Because what moves this government is never in those buildings, right? They knocked down the World Trade Center. They took the 2 towers down. That was enough to show you that those buildings and all these flags and all these other symbols don't mean shit.
Right.
Because you didn't miss a beat. America did not fall nowhere when the towers came down. Wasn't shit in it but people.
Now, stop right there because you in the military. So now you touching on something that I want you to speak on, because you just told me I was terrified that they went into the Capitol, right? But you just basically exposed that, yeah, they telling you this is where they running the country from, but it's nothing in those buildings. I was blown back by how soft that security was right at the Capitol. Can you talk to us from a military standpoint about how this works?
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I'll put it to you. I'll do you one better. Put it in the simplest form. What is the biggest bank in Texas?
The biggest bank in Texas?
The biggest bank. The biggest bank in Texas.
Would it be what? Do we have a state reserve? Educate me.
No, just a regular chain bank. What's y'all biggest?
I would say either Chase or Bank of America.
Bank of America. Bank of America is worth how much?
It got to be billions,
right?
Yeah.
Do you think you could go into your local Bank of America and cash a check for $3 million? You think they got all that in there for you?
No, they're gonna try to. I've seen it before. They're gonna try to hit you with the oopty wop. They're gonna try to tell you we gotta do this, we gotta do that. They're gonna start trying to call people down there. Right.
Where's it at?
Right. I just seen that happen before. Somebody go down and demand their money, and they want to put you through the ring, and niggas like, nah, give me my bread. They want to tell you, you gotta do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. Niggas say, no, I want my meals. Right.
So it's nothing in there but little bullshit. Maybe 400,000 or 500,000 regenerating core, but it's not what it says, right? On paper, Bank of America is one of the biggest banks in the country, period. But we all know that it's not liquid. It's just not.
I hear you.
So when you're talking about the government and you going up into the Capitol, what do you think is in there?
Right.
If those men were able to go in there, put boots on the desk and all that, shit, did that stop anything?
No.
In reality,
no.
Are they right now being hunted?
No.
But they are. Most of them are being hunted, right?
That's what they say. That's what they say. But if they wanted to catch me today, they would catch me today. They ain't no hunting. They either coming to get you or they not.
Well, some of them. Again, we know in the face that some of them are being hunted. They're being caught.
Right.
So they really wasn't. They really ran up in there and did nothing. They accomplished shit. The same thing. They give us reparations. If they gave everybody a $30,000 check, but you still under the same conditions, you still under the same Bill of Rights, the same Constitution, the same state constitution, the same level of underemployment. That $50,000 check is going to go right back into the system some way, somehow. If you're not already planning and organized to separate to where they cannot reallocate whatever they gave you,
right,
or benefit from that. Because if they gave you a $50,000 check and you say, now I can clear my credit, right? Put it right back into the system. I can pay down on my house, goes right back into the system, right? My kids can get fresh, whatever you want to do. I could even take 10 people, right? And that 30,000 turn into whatever, 300,000?
Right.
We're going to invest in this business. It's going back into the same exact system. So how do you benefit from reparations? Please explain that to me.
I hear you.
You're not changing the institutions. You're not changing the laws. You're not changing the code. You're not changing anything at all. You just got a bunch of money. Now,
I will say this. Karim. My now when I talk about reparations, that's what I feel like, because I'm for reparations. You see what I'm saying? But again, I appreciate your stance. That's why I brought you on here. But my thing is, when I think about reparations, I don't necessarily think about money, Karim. I think about law. You see what I'm saying? I think about reparations being written into the law. You see what I'm saying? Like i.e. Marijuana. You know, so many people went to jail for marijuana. Now it's legal. Okay. You see what I'm saying? We gotta put something in the law where we gotta start getting these people out, dropping all these BS marijuana charges. How I can't get a job now because I got a bullshit weed case, but weed is legal now. You need to get that off my record.
Okay, is that in the prescribed ADOS demands for reparations?
No, not that I know of.
About changing law?
No, not that I know of. Not that
That's
particular one.
Separate, right? Somebody else is pushing that for prison reform, right?
Right. I got you. Yes.
You see the separation. You see how everybody's going in every other direction.
Yes.
So now if everybody's going in every other direction,
talk about it.
Everybody some money.
Talk about it.
See what the hell happened.
Talk about it. I'm gonna be like, well, shit, I got mine. You on your own now. I got you.
And again, now you back to zero.
Back to square one. We're back to square one.